This is Jake Hartford, and I'm not wearing pants.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday.
I'm going to get cash for this.
Happy birthday to you.
Apparently he thinks this is his idea of a joke. Okay. Welcome to hour number 2 of the Wake with Jake. I'll be here until 8 o'clock. If you're just joining us and you're driving today, Lower Wacker Drive is open. Upper Wacker Drive is open. Nice, like a racetrack. If you're coming in on the Stevenson, they've got a couple lanes closed at Central, and then they open them up, and then they close some more from Kedzie down to Lakeshore Drive, 2 out of 3. I think that's going to be all day today. So if you're coming downtown for anything downtown, Winter Wonderfest at Navy Pier, or any of that stuff, be prepared for some backups. Anyway, I'm looking at some of the things I want to get to, and I just came across something that is just shattering my whole foundation of life. I know, the staff is up. What could be shattering the whole foundation of life here? It's 5 beloved ethnic foods that really aren't ethnic. They were invented for Americans. Things that you would think that came from wherever they came, but they didn't. And the one that's really got me is just nachos. Nachos aren't Mexican. You know, the tortilla chips with cheese put on top and jalapenos and stuff. You know where that started? Down in Texas. Some restaurant, I'm reading the story here, a restaurant called the Victory Club, owned by a guy by the name of Ignacio Nacho Anaya. Said he was closing his restaurant one day when a dozen wives of U.S. soldiers stationed at a nearby Fort Duncan came in, and they were hungry, and he had nothing to give them, and then he thought, you know what, I've got these old tortilla strips in the back. Broken chips. So what he did, he went to the kitchen, he took the chips, he added some cheese and some sliced jalapenos, and he gave them to the ladies, and he called it Nachos Especiales. Think about that. This guy's name was Ignacio Nacho Anaya. What you eat as nachos today could have been called Anayas. I'll have some Anayas. Or I'll have some Ignacios. But he called them by the middle name Nachos, and the women liked it, and next thing you know, he opened up a separate nacho restaurant. By accident. This is all by accident, and it was scrap food. But it didn't come from Mexico. It was a made-up dish. Lucky for us, he had jalapenos. He didn't have, instead of maybe, what if he had prunes? Imagine the chips with cheese and prunes. So that's made up. Nachos. Another one that's made up is General Tso's chicken. There is no General Tso. And there's barely the chicken. Cashew chicken is made up. Fortune cookies, also made up. They started in Los Angeles. He used to hand out the cookies to homeless people. And he put in an uplifting message for the homeless. Maybe that's what we should do. Get fortune cookies with uplifting little messages, and when you're walking down the streets and people are asking you for money, we give them fortune cookies. I may be onto something here. I'm going to write this one down. That's a good idea. And the other thing that's not American that was invented for us, though, spaghetti and meatballs with cheese. Now, I know you're going to say, no, that's got to be Italian, Jake, because they've got noodles there. But the idea of putting red sauce together with spaghetti and adding meatballs, and then the French bread for garlic bread, that's American. According to this, it says when we invented it here in the United States, they didn't have garlic bread in Italy. They had bruschetta. That was the closest thing. So there you go. 5 food myths shattered. Santos and Cicero. Good morning, Santos.
Good morning, Jake. How are you today?
I'm fine until I found out that nachos aren't real.
Well, they're real to eat, but maybe they ain't real to the world.
Yeah. Anyway, I hear you barking in the background. What's up?
It's my coonhound in the background. I got a chicken in my yard, and he's barking at my chicken. So anyway.
You can make some General Tso's chicken this morning.
Nah, it's a pet.
A pet chicken?
Well, he's Amnesty International. He escaped from the butcher's block, and he ended up in my yard looking for Amnesty, so I got him in my yard.
Does he lay eggs? Or she?
Used to. Yeah, it has to be a she. I always make that mistake myself. I call him a he, but used to, but not anymore.
I mean, how could you tell a female chicken from a male chicken? What do you have to look at to tell them apart?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you that one.
Anyway,
but I could tell you off camera, off the floor thing, but you know.
That's not why you called. Why'd you call today, Santos?
Okay, tomorrow, something strictly American and something strictly Chicago. The 35th annual Chicagoland Toys for Tots Motorcycle Parade lines up tomorrow on Western Avenue, 84th, 83rd and Western at the Dan Ryan Woods at 6 a.m. First bike to leave is. The Woods will be at 9:30 in the morning. At 9 o'clock, if you want to be there, we have the Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer. So everybody goes down to Ruston Avenue safely. And it runs for about 15 miles. I think they're running up to the DeVry parking lot up there on Belmont Avenue.
Now, if somebody wants to bring toys, where do they bring them? Do they bring them at the end or the beginning?
Well, you could bring them to the end, and you could bring them to the beginning. That's why we go it's to join the city of Chicago together from the south side to the north side. You can bring them up to the DeVry parking lot up there, or you can bring them down at the Dan Ryan Woods at 83rd and Western, or you can bring them right straight to the Marine Corps Armory of Foster and Troy, or anywhere. You know, this is Christmas, even though it's the Chicagoland Toys for Tots Parade, and it's a season 4 Toys for Tots. Take them to your local fire department, the local police department. Everybody's gathering toys now to hand out to the needy kids, and it's a bad economy out there.
Yeah, it's always a good cause.
It's all for a good cause. It goes all over the city. So.
Now, how many motorcycles do you expect tomorrow? It's going to be good weather.
Well, in 2004, the temperature was 58 degrees, 55 degrees, 58 degrees, which is supposed to be like tomorrow. We had approximately 40,000 motorcycles.
Wow.
The first bike got out at 9 a.m. The last bike got out of the Dan Ryan Woods at 2:30 in the afternoon. We had continually for about 5-6 hours, 17 miles of motorcycles.
Now, you guys stop at every stoplight?
The police department in the last couple of years, because it got so big in 04, sent us down the road in, they call them tiers, groups of like maybe 2,000-3,000 at a time. And then they wait about 10, 15 minutes and send another one out. It's all radio controlled. Everybody's talking on the radio, all the police departments, all traffic control, streets and sanitation. Everybody's talking together and coordinating this thing to try to break it up just to let some of the cross traffic get through, because it is quite a congested
Well, that's
day.
got to be a heck of a sight.
So it's a sight. You got to see it. Unfortunately, for the last couple of years, because in 2010 I almost lost my house, I had to go to work, and I've been working for the last week on weekends for the last 2.5 years over here. So I can't go to the parade this year.
Wow. But the chicken's safe.
That chicken's safe.
All right.
Yeah. And I used to be the president of Toys for Tots organization.
Yeah, you've been calling for years with this, yeah.
So it's kind of dear to my heart. Remember this thing? One more thing. Started in 1978 by a guy by the name of Ed Aminal Wisniewski in 1978. And this definitely a Chicago institution. I think it'll be here forever. Like I said, 35 years in a row. Everybody be safe out there. Everybody be patient with the motorcyclists trying to get across Western. Everybody have a good time. A lot of good cheer. This is a sign of unity and brotherhood. And everybody Be safe.
All right. Thank you, Santos. Bye-bye.
And you have a good day, Jake.
There you go. Tomorrow. It's always a sight to see all those motorcycles going down Western Avenue. 40,000 when the weather was good a few years ago, he said. The weather's going to be like that tomorrow. Mike on the north side. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning. Your fortune cookie story made me laugh. I wanted to tell you, I worked midnights for the city, and I was on the far south side in Roseland. And I drove through a McDonald's drive-thru, and I wanted to get a Big Mac. Well, one Big Mac was $3.39, but I can buy two for $3. So I bought the two, I ate one, and I gave one to a homeless person.
Which is a very nice thing to do, Mike.
Well, they were mad because I didn't get them fries and a pop. So, I checked out the job. I had a checkout, and as I'm looping back, all of a sudden I hear this crash through a brick at my van. There's cops there sitting there in their car, and they're laughing, and they said, what happened? You know, they heard her yelling, next time bring the GD fries and a pop. So it's never good enough. So be careful of those fortune cookies. Handing them out if you get to 115th and Michigan on the south side.
Wow. She'd have told them the fries were bad for their health. You know, the sodium and the fries and the salt, you know. Wow. See, no good deed goes unpunished.
I must have done something wrong when I was a kid that I was punished. I must have kicked a priest or something.
And you were doing the economical thing because you were saving yourself 39 cents.
39 cents and a broken window.
Wow. Thank you, Mike. Wow. There's a story for you. It's not enough that you got me the Big Mac. I want the fries and the drink. And supersize. Yeah, that's the next thing. Just don't get me the regular medium-sized drink and fries. I want it supersized. 7:18, back right after this, right here on 89 WLS.
Tune in to the Mortgage Radio Show here on